Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online. In the last episode, we ran through the dungeon, the 1,000 Maws of Toto-Rak. And at the end of the dungeon, we ran into an Askian who called himself La Habrea. He summoned a monster, we had to fight and kill it, and that allowed us to rescue the Elder Sylph. And we brought them back to Little Solace and had a chat. Found out that the summoning of Ramuh was done in response to incursions by the Empire, and that the Sylphs are still interested in friendly relations with Gridania, which is good news for us. So we need to now report back to the Waking Sands about our mission. So we will get to that eventually. We do have one more quest we need to do for the Sylphs to go take a look at the Tempered Sylphs that are basically thralls of Ramuh. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. Now, I mentioned at the end of last episode that I was going to go ahead and advance my character to 30 so that we can get past this ridiculous trash can armor that we're wearing. And I went ahead and did that. So we are now level 30. I did it by going into the duty finder and running the leveling duty roulettes, which basically just does a random dungeon that we've already completed. I got the 1,000 Maws of Toto-Rak again, so I just ran that again and I got enough EXP to get 30. Alright, so let's go ahead and go here, and I need to do the lookout emote, so we will do this a couple of ways. We'll just do the emotes, and we'll say lookouts. There are tempered sylphs in the distance. You do not sense that they pose a danger if left alone. So the tempered sylphs are the purple ones. Alright. Simple enough. Deliver Phrixio's missive to Vorsail Hulwa, which is in the Adder's Nest back in Gridania. So we might as well just go ahead and do that. Just teleport back to New Gridania. We're not going to use a teleport ticket. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to advance this to the point where we actually get the mission to go back to the Waking Sands, and then we're going to go off and take care of a couple of things. Because now that we are level 30, we have a new quest to do for the Marauders, which should be our last quest as actually a Marauder. We'll be able to switch to Warrior soon. We also need to pick up some new gear. And there are a couple of other things we need to unlock as well. We need to unlock ventures for our retainers, and we need to unlock our companion Chocobo, or the ability to use our Chocobo as a combat companion. So we're going to do that. Alright, Vorsail Hulwa. If it isn't a Yame, how went the meeting with the Sylphs? It went well. A missive from the Sylph Elder himself, if I may. So the Sylphs have no desire for conflict, nor do they intend to summon Ramuh. And so long as we leave the Tempered ones be, we need not fear any aggression on their part. The Elder Seedseer will be overjoyed to hear that the Sylphs have welcomed our overtures. And in the knowledge that they bear us no ill will, we may channel our resources towards tackling the more conspicuous threats to our security. You have done this nation a great service, my friend. On behalf of all Gridanians, I give you my thanks. Alright, and what is this this bard doing? Alright, back from the wood. Alright, the Sylphic folk have long been friends of Gridania. The mere thought of being at war with them pained the Elder Seer to no end. But owing to your efforts, she will be able to rest easier. Being the benevolent soul that she is, my lady will surely try to find a way to reverse the tempering process. Once again, I thank you. Had the signs of the Seventh Dawn not offered to mediate between our peoples, suspicion and doubt may well have led us into needless conflict. Pray pass on my regards to Lady Minfilia. We're getting a call. Hello? Hello, Ayame? Can you hear me? It is I, Minfilia. Ida and Papalimo returned some little while ago, and they wasted no time in regaling me with the tale of your exploits. Thanks in large part to you, the name of one primal may be struck from our list of enemies, and the Gridanians may turn their attention to more pressing matters. Well done. Yet the end of one tale is but the start of another. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. I would apprise you of the present situation in person. Alright, we are not going to do that quite yet. So, first things first, I want to head to... Actually, while we're here... The quest to unlock the ability to summon your Chocobo as a combat companion is here in Gridania, or just outside the city. Where exactly is it? Just a second. Okay, so actually it is in the South Shroud at Camp Tranquil, which we have not attuned there yet. So let's go ahead and head over to Quarry Mill. Alright, let's mount up. Now let's go for a ride. You know, now that I think about it, I probably could have swung by the markets in Gridania and picked up my new armor first, but that's okay. Level 35 Trents. Surprised it didn't attack me. Level 38 Trent. And it still didn't attack me. Oh boy. More bulls. Level 34. Now that one didn't decide to attack me. But we'll just keep on riding. Alright, let's go ahead and tune up. Alright, just because I like to do it, we talk to Chocobo Keep. Let's see. We want to talk to Dosette here. My feisty little Chocobo. Dosette appears to have caught a scent of something. The unmistakable smell of Chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? Indeed I do. Aye, I thought so. Now tell me, is your bird battle-trained? If not, you might consider seeking the advice of Luc Quillot over at Bent Branch Meadows. The Asgardian native is something of a prodigy prodigy in all matters concerning our fine feathered friends. He should be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. Alright, so now we need to head to Branch Meadows, which we should be attuned to, yes. Alright, where are we going? Over there. There is who we need to talk to. Greetings, adventurers. Is something you need? You wish to have your Chocobo trained in combat. This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing. Asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help train your Chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? I don't know. Very well. To begin, you will need a bunch of Gisal greens. You have my leave to pick one from the fields yonder. Return here when you have it. I actually have a sizable supply of said greens here, but I'll humor him. There we go. Obtained a fresh bunch of Gisal grains. Have you acquired the greens? Indeed I have. Superb. Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but chocobos are highly fond of Gisal greens. They love the leafy vegetable so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you, and then, once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You'll find that your Chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly and to the best of its ability. This simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Fortemps family, one of the foremost houses of Ishgard. That concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about a practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your Chocobo with a bunch of Gisal greens, and together make your way to Sorrel Haven. The brood Ziz that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of Gisal grains on your person at all times. Our resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry, which I already have more than enough. So, let me actually just put them out on the bar. I'm going to put them off on one of the off-screen bars. Let's go ahead and summon my Chocobo. There we are. Now where? I should have a command bar. Oh, that's right. Character, some traits. Alright, so we have withdrawal, follow, free stance, defender stance, healer stance, attacker stance. I'm going to put these out again on a off-screen bar. I think the only stance I can currently use at the moment is free stance. Alright, where are we headed? You can mount up your Chocobo that you have summoned. You didn't used to be able to do that. That was a really welcome addition when they finally added that in. Alright, so there we go. The broods is. Let's get to it. Uh-oh, my Chocobo got petrified. I think I'm gonna make it a healer stance, Chocobo, at least initially. Oh, we need one more of these things. Dispatch broods is my companion. Oh, one thing I needed to double check. No new roll abilities. And Butcher's Block we won't get probably until we do the next Marauder quest. Combos with Skull Sunder. Okay. Alright, so we need to go back to Bent Branch Meadows. All right. So you have successfully negotiated your first few battles with your Chocobo. Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your Chocobo can make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, I have one last parting gift. A saddlebag for your Chocobo. Carrying Gishal greens can be quite cumbersome after all, and there should be sufficient room for your personal belongings should the need arise. I pray it serves you well on your travels. Now access your Chocobo saddlebag. The supplementary storage window can be accessed by selecting Chocobo saddlebag, located under the character menu. I think that is a fairly new thing as well. What's this heart you would discuss with me? Bird in hand. I wasn't really planning on this, but it's level 30. Let me go ahead and take it. Favorite among Chocobos. What is this? Greetings, madam. Tell me, how goes the training of your avian mount? I could not help but notice that there is some bias towards real-life combat. All battle and no bonding makes for a less noble bird. I see that you have a fine residence of your own. Do I? Why not build a stable for your Chocobo? Closeness leads to fondness. I have a house on my other character. I could tell you of those and more if you wish. We of Ishgard have a knack for Chocobo husbandry. We have forgotten more than Gridania will ever know, I fear. One Ishgardian knack is to stable Chocobos at one's residence. That makes it possible to train and feed the birds. The second knack is to keep the stable meticulously clean and picked up. Chocobos are cleanly creatures and easily distressed by slovenly housekeeping. Shall we get straight to it? Pick up every vegetable scrap littering the stable, if you please. And can I actually get to my residence on my other two? So I didn't think that they had enabled the ability of your alternate characters to utilize the housing features of your other characters. Like if I went ahead and wanted to teleport. No. I can teleport to my free company's estate hall, but not to my main character's house. Oh well, we'll finish this up. Simple enough. Have you collected all the vegetable scraps? Very good. I will take those. The place is as fresh as cream. How well the chocobos look, fluffing their feathers in contentment. You would do well to lay in a magic broom. You shall need to use those for proper cleaning, but that is for another time. There is more to stable care than simple cleaning, and that brings us to the third Ishgardian knack, fresh feed. I am not the aptest tutor for this craft, however, there is one that has a knack right here in Bent Branch. That would be Mistress Margalt, the resident botanist. She is in charge of all cultivars maintained here for the chocobos. Go to her and beg a few greens and information from her. She will not stint you on either. Alright. Margalt, or Margot. Some feed for your chocobo. You've come to the right place for it. It has been a warm spring. Try the cracker root. Many birds who would otherwise go off their feed cannot resist these luscious roots. We raise them with love as well as skill. Master Nicoulot likes to call that a knack. I've no quarrel with it. 'Tis a joy to grow, whether it be vegetables, chocobos, or the skill in one's hands. Why not try your own hand at growing vegetables? You say you have a house. A house must have a field. Food grown with your love and care. How could your bird not thrive eating feed such as that? Mayhap we are not what we eat. Otherwise my father would be a codfish, a swim in butter. But the feed certainly makes chocobos, aye. So sensitive is their nature that you can see the effect of a particular feed as clear as day. But I have yet to tell you about the main feeds. You are sure to be fascinated. So ever tire of speaking of giselle greens? Precious, luscious plants. You can summon and train your birds with these greens, but as wonderful as giselle greens are, they are hardly unique in being attuned to specific areas of a chocobo's abilities. The art of raising a chocobo involves choosing a balance of these vegetables to feed your bird, plus creating a chocobo that is, well, just so. The best laid plans of wranglers are often frustrated by a picky eater, though. Do make sure you come to know each bird's likes and dislikes. They are no pieces of magitech to bend to your will, but when bird and woman grow together, why, you might discover something very special indeed. Aye, and you would do well to grow your own feed. Might as well fight with a pine sword to raise a chocobo without a vegetable field of your own. Visit a store to buy these seeds, and remember, love and skill, there's the knack. I do go on, don't I? You came for a handful of feed and got an earful. That's the way of it with us botanists. Take this fine specimen of cracker root to your sweet chocobo, and I wish you both the joy of it. Okay. Show the gigantic cracker root to Nicoulot. We're able to collect some chocobo feed. Margot is ever stingy with her vegetables. Gigantic cracker root. As fine a cracker root as ever I have seen. A magnificent specimen. This will make the training all the more effective, I believe. We come to the fourth knack of chocobo husbandry, Ami. Training. I hear the head wrangler Keitha about her work. There's a thought. Go and speak with her. She would tell you much and more of training chocobos. You know, it comes with my thought that it's probably detecting that we have an estate house that has a Chocobo stable, which is why I have this. Okay, that makes more sense. Nice to see you, Venturer. Here to learn about training your bird, you say? Stable your Chocobo and you'll be able to train the sweetheart, but you need to give him a treat straight after and not a moment later. What I do is I go to pick a choice bit of feed before I get the bird in the training. Results vary, as that slick ruffian at the Ebony Stalls used to say. Around here, results depend on how clean the stables are, what treat you give, but as long as you love your Chocobo, it's hard to muck it up. But now, got a fine root, a cracker root on you already. That'll work a treat, no pun intended. Go on, start training little Leia over there. Okay. You feed little Leia the gigantic cracker root after her training. Alright, that was sweetly done, Venturer. You've some skill at this, I reckon. Some are made to train just that one bird, but you can handle any Chocobo. Some Venturers share a stable, you know. Might be you could care for birds other than your own. You muck out the stables. That means you're helping raise other Venturers' birds as well as your own. Don't matter who did the mucking out, really. Those birds been cared for, you see. That ought to hold you for a while, eh? No use pouring too much wine into a cup. You best return to Luke below before his Iscardian brain case starts imagining the worst. This is all about using the stables facilities at a house, obviously, to boost the amount of EXP that your Chocobo gets. Alright, sweetly done. High praise from Katha. Excellent, excellent. I have now taught you all the knacks you must needs know at this time, I believe. It's my hope that you will add a stable to your residence, and there raise a Chocobo to serve as your brave mount and trusted companion. Now, how I long to meet that bird someday. I trust you will not disappoint me. Complete. I'll have to see what I can do about that. Maybe try to change my bird's color. You can also do that through the stables and feeding system. You can get the feather colors to change. Alright. That was a diversion I hadn't expected. But let's go ahead and actually head back to Limsa. Alright. I think we're gonna do, because I haven't actually done this on screen before, is get ourselves some gear from the market. So let's see what we got. Steel Salé. No, we're gonna go with the Steel Salata on the stuff that there aren't any available. Steel Cuirass. There are some here. We don't need the high quality one. We'll just grab this one. They're fairly cheap. Steel Gauntlets. Now that's expensive. Oh well, we'll grab them. Steel Plate Belt. Might hold off on that. We might get that at some point. Toadskin Brace. Toadskin Culottes. See, now we're starting to get to a point where stuff is rather pricey. Steel Sabatons, and are none on sale. That's a bit disappointing. And we don't have anything at... Oh, there's a Steel Soleil that we need. Probably should have just come here. Oh well. They didn't used to have the ability to buy this gear from the vendors. Let's see, Toadskin Braze. And Steel Sabatons. Oh, no big deal. Alright, so let's go ahead and say... Switch recommended gear, equip. Oh, I'm still talking to the guy. Recommended gear, equip. Alright, we're not going to worry about this stuff right now. Oh, did I get the Soleil? No. I need the... Salada is what I need. There we go. And my gear needs some repairs. Ugh, and we need to dye it. So I probably spent a little bit more money than I should have, but... It's been a while since I've been at this level. And back when I first played, you couldn't buy things, like anything probably higher than level 20 from the vendors. Alright, repair everything. There we go. And we need to dye this stuff. What dyes do I have? I have the orange dye. I have the pink dye. I think for the time being, we'll just go ahead and use the pink dyes. I might pick a different color once I have a little bit more time to shop for dye. There we go. And then what we can do is look at, let's see, the heavy iron armor. Oh, I need to update the gear set. There we go. Make sure it's updated. Is convert this to materia. Convert. Let's see. This has Spirit Bond 100%. Convert. And this does not. Okay. Alright. Troubled Adventurer. Several adventurers are having difficulty summoning their retainers. Should you wish to offer your assistance, you will find these troubled souls in Limsa, Leminsa, Gridania, and Ulda. Rewards will be the same regardless of whom you help, so do not hesitate to aid the adventurer of your choice. Okay. An ill-conceived venture. Something weighs heavily on the adventurer's mind. Bloody hells, I ain't got no time for this. Friend, you look like the helpful sort. Mind handling a meddlesome task for a man in need? My retainer, he reckoned he had what it took to go on a venture, and Skull Valley with not more than what I gave him. But now the little bugger's up and vanished. Probably got eaten by a dodo or some such. Any road, if you happen to come across his remains in western Lenosha, I'd like you to inform the local watch so they can set about notifying his kin. Alright, search Skull Valley for the missing retainer. So I guess we'll head over to Aleport. Oh, I didn't want to use a ticket, but that's okay. Alright. Mount up, and let's go see if we can find this guy, or what's left of him. Murderous Mantis. Oh, these guys are low level. Alright, Novice Retainer. I don't know what you think you saw, but I assure you that I had everything under control. What? That oaf presumed me to be dead? Who does he think I am? Some wet behind the ears weakling? He could have at least shown some remorse for furnishing with such poor equipment. Well, speak of the Sahagin a moment. It's about bloody time. Do I sound dead to you? Fine, but you're buying the first round. Limlane, have mercy. I am not getting paid nearly enough for this work. I hope you treat your retainers with more respect, madam. Anyway, courtesy dictates that I thank you for your intervention. To that end, I ask you seek out Fridwib in East Hawker's Alley. Tell her what you did, and I'm sure she'll reward you handsomely. Farewell. Alright, so now we head back to Limsa. I'll just teleport. Alright, so we need to talk to Fridvib. There she is. Greetings, miss. How may I assist you? It sounds to me like you came along just in time. The last thing we need is another retainer dying during a venture. I gather from your expression you are not familiar with ventures. Quite understandable. Allow me to explain. In cooperation with the Adventurers Guild, we have established a new system through which retainers may be dispatched to procure items for their employers. Should you wish to avail yourself of this additional service, you will need to pay your retainers in advance with ventures. I speak of these, special script issued by the Adventurers Guild. Accept them with my compliments. Let me assure you that it isn't a complex process, and a retainer can walk you through it. When next you speak with yours, why not raise the subject? Alright, so we got some ventures. You may now dispatch the retainers in your employ on ventures. Summon the retainer you wish to send afield, and follow the instructions to begin. Alright, so I guess we can summon one of our retainers. Now send your retainers afield on procurement expeditions known as ventures. Before you can do so, however, you must first assign them a class. If you're summoning a retainer, you select Assign Retainer Class from the retainer menu to begin. Alright, I'll bring Oyun in. Lady, what would you ask of me? And we're going to say we want to assign you a class. Alright, your retainer can undertake adventures to assign his or her class. This could be any one class with the exception of those of the Disciples of the Hand. Retainer's class determines which adventures he or she can embark upon. He's advised you cannot assign your retainer a class you have not yet unlocked. So the only class that I can currently assign this retainer to is Marauder, because that's the only class I have unlocked. That's fine. As a Disciple of War and Magic, your retainer will be able to undertake hunting and field exploration ventures. Yep. To become a Marauder, you must now equip the main arm to your retainer. Select view retainer attributes and gear from the retainer menu to proceed. Yep, so we'll need to actually equip her with some equipment. But I'll have to probably do that on my own. So I'll just work on that later. Because I'll have to buy some equipment for the retainer. And then send them out. Alright. Now, next thing we need to do is the next Marauder quest. Alright. Alright, we're in Zoan. Let's see what you have to do. Oh, and you're going to give us some steel gear. Oh, you're going to give us a new axe. And we can take those silver pieces to get some money. Alright. Yame, your confrontation with the beast is at hand. Kujata has made his presence known. Reports place the creature to the northeast of the Red Rooster Stead, in the vicinity of the Grey Fleet. There is little more for me to say but this. Harness all the strength you have built up through your labors of sweat and blood, and unleash it all full fury upon Kujata and his menagerie of scavengers. Ugh, could not get my tongue around that. Sigurd yet lies abed, trusting in your strength and praying for your victory. I ask that you go to the lad before the battle and tell him you venture forth to fell the object of his vengeance. Such news should cheer his ailing heart. Time has come, Ayame Yatsurugi. May your axe strike deep and true. Speak to Sigurd at Red Rooster Stead. Of course, you want me to go to Red Rooster Stead. Zephyr Gates. And I'll just walk. But I guess I'll just pause the recording while I head over there. Because we've done this several times before. Alright, we're back in Red Rooster Stead. And there's Sigurd. Ayame, I'm sorry for making trouble. No, I deserve what I got. It's my own fault for not believing in you. But you came back anyway, and now you're gonna take that axe to Kujata's head, ain't you? I know you can beat that bastard, you got to. What are the quests that you guys have? Just curious. I heard Kujata reared his ugly head again and reckoned... Oh, we actually have to speak with him. Should probably read the quest log. And reckoned you'd not be too far behind. I hope you won't object to me lending what aid I can. We've been through much, you and I would see this tale to its end. Brombar, well, he felt much the same. So here we are, a pack of two to offset the ravenous beast that followed Kujata's wake. And Brombar. Might be as I'm sticking my nose where it ain't wanted, but I couldn't abide the thought of you facing that monster solo. Kujata's got his friends, so it's only fair you've got a couple too. And what were friends for if not to lighten your load? I already did some of the groundwork for you. Seems like a farmer and his wain have fallen victim to the fiend's pack. If we follow the trail of destruction, it might just lead us to the big bugger himself. I know we're running a bit longer than usual in this episode, but I have some extra time, so I'm going to run a bit of a longer episode than normal. Inspect the trail of destruction. Lavender pot. Find a pot that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. Alright, hostile presence. Alright, next. Fruit barrel. You find a barrel that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. Oh, another enemy. Alright, it's down. Splintered crate. You find a crate that appears to have been dragged from the farmer's wain. Giant oxpecker. Really? Alright. Next. I think is the actual instance itself. Overturned wain. Alright, let's go. Alright, we're taking this thing on. on the cone AoE. Alright, so they're gonna keep the jackals busy. While I deal with the main beast. No wonder his victims were so hard to heal. Let's see, we have a permanent HP recovery being healing magic is reduced. Ah well, we've got him. Ayame. It's Sigurd. It appears our timing was fortuitous. The Axemaster carried me here so as I could see. You did it. You really did it. Da, do you see? Ayame killed the bastard. He's finally dead. Thank you. Thank all of you. Ayame, do you reckon I could learn to swing an axe like that? When I was bigger, I mean. I want to protect folk too, keep them safe from, you know, monsters and things. I don't see why not. If you train hard, then naught is beyond your reach, young man. And that's what I'll do. I'll train every single day. You'll see, I'll be the strongest hero there ever was. Alright, so now we need to speak with all three of these people. Sulkvib. Well done, Ayame. I knew from the first moment I met you that you would rise to meet any challenge. Okay. Bronbar. Saw it with my own eyes, and I still scarce believe it. Can still scarce believe it. You brought down the mountain. Right. And we're in Zoan. It is done, Ayame. You have answered the boys' prayers and upheld the pride of the guild. Hold your head high, Marauder. I shall be awaiting your triumphant return to Limsa Limensa. Alright, so we need to go back to the Marauders Guild. And turn this thing in. Alright, so Ethernet, Marauders Guild. And we're in Zoan. That was truly a mighty feat, Ayame. Never have I seen a marauder so dedicated to attaining the pinnacle of her discipline. In recognition of your achievements, I, Axemaster Wernzoen, pass on to you our guild's final technique, the Butcher's Block. It shall make of your axe a whistling guillotine of deadly force. While potent as a single attack, I suggest you first stagger your opponent with a heavy swing, followed by a ringing skull sunder. Only then shall you unlock the full destructive potential of this strike. The thought brings me both joy and sadness. There is not more I can teach you. May the memories of your time here at the guild sustain you as you strive for ever greater heights of perfection. Experience now shall be your tutor. There will always be greater foes and deadlier challenges on which to test your blade. Of that I am certain. You enter a realm of our craft in which even I have never set foot. I only hope that when you reach the very boundaries of our art, you will return to share your triumphs with us. Until then, Ayame, may your axe ever swing true. Alright, we're going to take the silver pieces. So I kind of jumped the gun on the armor. And spent more on it than I should have. Well, it wasn't the first time I blew more gil than I should have on something. Won't be the last. This one time at level 30. As an achievement. Alright, so I want to go and switch to the spiked steel Labris. Update the gear slots. Go to my armory chests. My thunderstorm axe can be now converted to materia. Alright, there we go. And Wernzoen has a new quest, but we are going to go ahead and end this episode here because this has been quite a long one. So we will pick up the next quest when we come back. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.